Good afternoon and thanks for joining us right here on Midday Kentucky. How are you, my friend?
I'm doing fantastic.
Ravi Moss, everyone. Larkin's normally in here on Thursdays, as you know. But again, she's away. She's on a girls' trip over to
Las
Vegas. So she said, do you mind if my husband comes in again? I said, well, it is what it is, everyone. Yeah. This is what we've got to do.
You got to work with the B team sometimes, right?
Don't say that. We've got a big thing happening with you just in a moment.
We do.
But first of all, we want to give a quick shout out to a daughter who watches Midday every day. You ready for this? With her 91-year-old mother, Ruth and Mary. We appreciate you watching and enjoy the show. We've got a big one for you.
That's it.
You ready?
I'm ready.
All right, let's go. Today is a big day, of course. It's the playoffs for Big3, and live with us right now is Ice Cube, one of the co-founders, and Nancy Lieberman, who is coaching the #1 seed. Welcome to the show, my friends.
Hey, thank you for having us.
Hi, Troy.
Thank you. Well, for those of us who are not familiar, and we're talking about me, what exactly is Big3?
The Big 3 is professional 3-on-3 basketball played at the highest level by former NBA players, coached by Hall of Fame coaches. And, you know, it's just a great league. This is our second year. It's played a half-court 3-on-3. And, you know, we're excited because we're in the playoffs.
Great. That's awesome. So, Q, you guys came here to Lexington last year. Didn't make it this year, but you guys have added so many more names to your rosters. I mean, your rosters are loaded now. You've got Kmart and Rashad McCants with Trilogy. They won last year. And you got Baron Davis, Mike Bibby, Katino Mobley, all those names. How have they impacted what you guys have going on this year?
Well, I mean, star power. You know, you can have a league, but if people are not interested in the players, it really doesn't matter how good your game is. So luckily we have players who've built up a fan base over 10, 20 years of playing basketball through, you know, high school, college, and the pros. And so, you know, whenever we add a name, you know, we're adding a fan base with that. And so that's the great thing about, you know, the Big 3 and, you know, bringing these guys back to the forefront. You know, they have their own brands, they have their own fans, and to put them back in front of their own fans, you know, it's a love fest from there on out.
Without a doubt. So, Nancy, you get the pleasure of coaching some of these players. They're former legends, as you know, or living legends, as you know. What's it like coaching them and coaching against guys like Gary Payton and other legends that played the game?
Well, I think I was prepared for this. You know, I coached in WNBA. I coached with the Sacramento Kings as an assistant, and now stepping into the Big 3, I feel very comfortable with the players that we have. They were exceptional when they played in the NBA. They're taking their talents now and utilizing it in a different way in half-court basketball, which is really the way the game has evolved. 5-and-5 is 3 on one side, 2 on the other side of the floor. Now, you know, they're using more of their IQ, their understanding of execution and strategy, because it's not just about athleticism, although they're highly athletic. So it's really kind of cool to be on the court with proven veterans. For me, on power, I mean, Big Baby Davis has a championship ring with the Celtics. Birdman has a championship ring with the Heat. And then we have just tremendous, you know, leadership with Corey Maggette and Katino Mobley and Quentin Richardson. Every team has this. It's just not part and parcel to power, and that's why these playoffs are going to be so competitive when we start tomorrow night on Fox.
Awesome. So the playoffs do start. How do you like your chances going into the playoffs?
I like our chances. We worked hard to be the #1 seed, but like I said, we lost to Tri-State. That's our only loss this year. David Hawkins hit a step-back 3 in front of Ice Cube to win that game. So we know that we have to be ready. We have to be on our A game, and we have to be aggressive. But I believe in our players because this is what they do. They come with the goods every night.
They do. They bring it. So, Cube, knowing those guys to bring it, you got the big names. What do you see for the future of Big 3 going forward?
We just want to grow this thing. We want to grow the fan base, grow the awareness. We'd like to expand to 12 teams in the near future and play on 2 nights a week instead of just 1. We want to, do more shoulder programming with, shows like Inside the Big 3 or Big 3 Tonight, things like that. So we have room to grow. We have a world global vision for this. We're talking about Big 3 China, Big 3 South America. So we're moving in the right direction. We plan to be here for a long time, and so we want to grow the court accordingly, grow the sport accordingly.
Well, Nancy and Cube, we really appreciate the time that you took to spend with us today. And I'm glad that I had the Mr. Ravi here to discuss it, because I know nothing about basketball, which I should be ashamed about. But we are getting bigger in Australia when it comes to basketball. Sydney Kings, I think that's what they're called.
I have no idea.
I have no
about
idea.
Australia.
Nancy, maybe you should come and educate me. I have
All
no
right, man, you got
concept.
some homework.
I've got some homework, that is correct. Thank you so
You
much.
got some
We really-
homework to do.
We appreciate you taking the time with us. Thanks a lot.
Thank you all.
Okay, now, as I said, tomorrow night, it's on Fox. Make sure you check all your local guides to check it all out. How long has this been running for? 2 or 3 years?
Last year was the first year. This is
And
the second year.
The first one was in Lexington.
Well, no, they came here for a weekend one time. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, it was
so
pretty cool.
when do you get to play on these type of
That
things?
would be never.
Why didn't you ask them?
They don't need me.
Why not?
I've got 2 busted Achilles, and my wife has taken away my basketball shoes, so I'm pretty much done with
Oh,
that.
really?
Yeah.
So
yeah.
you can't ever, or you could play, but not.
I could play, but
But
I'd have
as
to
they
sneak
say,
out.
you're a walk-on, not a run-on. So you could do a lot of walking. I haven't forgotten.
Yeah, there we go.
All right, you ready for the rest of the show?
Yeah, let's get it going.
All righty, my friend. A father says his 6-year-old son missed his first day of school because the facility at the Christian school said he couldn't attend his class until he cut his hair. The father explained that his child wanted dreadlocks, and he even tried to tie it up in a ponytail. That's pretty fair. But the child was still not allowed to go to school. Now, the school said that in their handbook that the boy who attended have to have short hair, and it's always been this way. But he argues the handbook also states, since all children are created in the image of God, oh look, I think he's taken this a bit far. No student will be denied admission because of race, colour or national origin. The father decided instead of cutting his son's hair, he enrolled him in public school. Ravi, you just had your wonderful son go back to school. He had a fresh haircut.
He had a fresh haircut.
He looked sharp.
He did look good.
How do you feel about this? Is this a race thing or is this just school policy?
I don't know if it's a race thing. I think
Thank
it's
you.
more school policy.
Yeah.
Honestly, if the school policy is for your hair to be cut, then your hair has to be cut. I mean, Braylon's going to Carter G. Woodson, which is a school here in Lexington,
Yeah.
in Frederick Douglass, and they have to wear a suit and tie every single day.
Yeah.
And that's part of the protocol. And if they don't, they can't attend. So.
It's funny you say that because I was just saying just recently we had Macy's on and they were talking about school clothes for kids and they weren't in uniform. Now I went to a boys' school as well.
Okay.
We had a uniform.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
I don't get it. Like, how does he feel about wearing a uniform when he sees some of his mates wearing his Air Jordans and
Yeah.
things like that to school?
That is definitely the biggest issue that we had going forward was trying to get him to buy into the fact that, put on a suit and look good every day. But he's
Yeah.
like, every day, it's going to be roasting, it's going to be 85 degrees, I'm going to be in a suit, I'm going to look stupid. But he's gotten over it. Yesterday went well. First day was good
Yeah.
and solid. So hopefully we can continue on that good positive trend, and he'll get used to looking fresh.
Well,
He
and
looks good.
here's the thing also as a parent, especially of a young guy, do you feel that, if you decide to enroll in a school that you really should abide by those rules that are in that handbook just because like this father's saying that he feels it's a bit of a race thing and that, it's quoting the verse out of the Bible isn't going to work either. Do you know what I mean? Because yes, we all know God created children equally as
Right,
well. We
right.
get that. But it's a hair thing.
It's a hair thing, I think. I think he should have just done some more research and seen exactly what the protocol was for the children.
I think he
coming
was
in
trying
there.
to bend the rules.
Yeah, I get it.
Tell us what you think. We've put it up on Facebook. We'd love to hear your thoughts and whether you went out and had your children's hair cut for the new school year as well. This is something that's really interesting. There is a Kickstarter for a device that claims to help kids develop healthy screen habits. This is brilliant, everyone. The product by TechDen is called The Den. Now, what happens is you schedule sessions for your children to use their smartphones and tablets. Now, when that session is done, the device goes in the den to charge. Now, the den will lock and unlock according to the schedule. There is also an alert to let parents know if that device was returned on time. The company has already raised half of their goal, I should say. Here's the thing, Ravi. What are your rules when it comes to your son with smart devices?
See, that's the thing. We're going back to school, and the rules change when you get back to school. So
They do?
Yeah, in the summertime, we allow for more screen time just because there's more downtime. You know, we still want them to read during the day, but they get to play on the screens a lot more. When school starts, you need to get it 30 minutes tops, and that's going to be about it. And you put it back in.
Really?
Yeah, this is a great idea. I mean, it's a fantastic
Well, you
idea.
sent this in. Why do you think it's such an important topic?
Several reasons. One, our children are not as social as they need to be because they're too busy looking at their screens. So interaction and interpersonal communication is something that I think we're losing as a generation because we're just so used to texting and typing.
Well, I said to you that we went for lunch just recently with your son and Larkin, and he said to me, Troy, he said, how many Instagram followers do you have? And I lied and I said about 20,000. He said, yeah, that's okay. I'm okay with that. I thought,
Yeah.
how old is he?
He's 11.
11.
Yeah.
Okay, but he said to me he has Snapchat.
Yeah, Snapchat.
And
yes.
so how do you
we
relegate
monitor
that?
that. So we make sure
Okay.
that we have all the passwords to everything.
Really?
And anytime we say we want the phone, it's no questions asked. You give it up.
Does he give you lip on it?
No, we can't give him.
He knows the rules?
He knows the rules.
Okay,
as
what's
long
the
as you set
punishment if he
rules.
doesn't?
He doesn't have a phone.
Oh,
Yeah.
see?
Yeah, and that
That's
works.
what you need to do.
That
Something
works.
else I want to ask you right now. Would you get a Botox to look better at work? Now the cosmetic surgery is dramatically increasing in the US, so people with Northwestern University decided to poll around about 600 people who received Botox. Now asking them why. One of the most common reasons was to look better in a professional context. Now the lower percentage did it for themselves. I've always said, because I have another show called The Younger You, and I'm a firm believer, if this is available, you should do it. It's your choice. But I've also said a lot of people do it for other people, not necessarily for
Yes.
themselves. Now, you haven't had Botox? Or
Not
you have?
yet,
Would you like
no.
to announce to everyone you have or you
No,
haven't?
I'm Botox free right now.
Okay.
Botox free.
In your 50s and you are in a powered job, I've always said men and women should do what they can because they're competing at the younger generation level. How do you feel about that?
Oh man, Botox just isn't for me.
Yeah, that's okay.
Yeah, I know. I know that a lot of people use it. It's very popular, and it can help a lot of people. It's got great
Benefits.
But for me personally, I'm good. I don't mind getting the lines and maturing. You know, some guys can age gracefully.
But it's competitive out there
It is
in the
competitive.
workforce, and this is what this was about. It's more about the conversation that as you're starting to age and you need to look and feel more competitive in the marketplace,
Yeah.
Botox is helping with that.
Yeah, and it is. And for the people feeling that pressure, like actresses, models, sales reps, people like that actually feel like they need to look good, I understand that. I get it. I'm not knocking it. I'm just saying.
We might send you to one of our sponsors and have you have some Botox, see what you think.
I just feel like I've seen so many bad Botox jobs. It
Not
scares
with
the mess
me,
out
my
of me.
friend. Not with my sponsors. We'll take care of you.